Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Hardcore Season 4 stream. Oh, Pippers.
Yes.
We have even less to do now than we did before.
I know.
Even less to do now than before. All right. So now we definitely have to wait for Saf, right?
Yep.
Especially if she's all the way level 24.
Yep.
Alright, so what's our evil plan? I think this means our evil plan is boot stuff, huh?
Yeah,
Huh?
Devil's assault at nauseum.
Yeah. Kind of lost a lot of our other options, right?
Yeah. I mean, we could go prep sagas or...
Well, I think it's going to be a lot of running through there. It's like 20 to 25, right? Remember right? I could be remembering wrong too, though.
Well, the other thing too is some of those sagas will probably build with running with staff.
Okay, what?
Said some of those sagas will probably build running with staff.
I would think so, but if she's 22, she may have already like hit a lot of those.
She's 24.
Or sorry, 24. I mean,
Like I know she'll still need.
he'll know. He says, like he's got her computer bugged. He says.
Well, I doubt she's ran the house Schindler ones or the.
I don't know. I don't know what she's ran. She could have run anything. She could have run all the things.
I don't think we'd be at the top of the leaderboard if she ran all the things.
Fair, I suppose. Hey, good morning. No reason to rush too hardly here. Were you up for trying your hand at some of the level 20 raids, Vic, or no? It would be like Lord of Blades and Tower of Despair. We might. I mean, I assume we're gonna have a room.
Either one.
Say what?
I am not flagged for either one.
Oh, okay.
Not flag.
Not flagged, you said.
That's going to be one of the situations we probably run into.
Well, again, I think that's part of the reason why we have, you know, like the 4 of us or whatever. However many of us there's going to be. All right, what do you think? What do you think? Should we just?
Does hard actually increase the drop rate much, or is it even worth it?
I don't think it does. It might for tokens or for mats, but it doesn't for tokens for sure. So I'm just not even sure what it's like. You know what I mean? All right. Who do we have? We have Murderer. We have an Evening Star. Staff. It's too high level. So we are looking for a maximum of 25. So we have Murder and we have Black are literally the only 2 people in our level range that can join us. Just send them a tell. Alright. Murderer is currently away from the keyboard. Black, on the other hand, the message claims it went through. We'll see. If nothing happens, we'll just go get started. Alright, I sent tail to the only 2 people who are not grouped up in our level range. I'm just going to grab a hireling, because I'm going to assume that we're not going to get any takers here in a minute. Alright, what do you think? You ready?
Yep.
Alright, let's get started. Bum, bum, ba-da-da-da-dun, dun, 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 dun. Let's get started. He-Man is trending. Why is He-Man trending?
He-Man?
Kevin Smith's animated He-Man series, Masters of the Universe Revelation, gets a glorious, nostalgic first trailer. Apparently they're doing it for Netflix. Tell you, the art looks amazing.
Books.
Dub up, sorry.
Stormreach guards huddle at their barricades. The stench of brimstone permeates the air. Guttural chanting echoes from beyond the door. Slivers of black metal sprung from the passageways flanking this room.
He's got aura on.
It's not.
Portals of the Shadowland.
Ah, that feels better.
Huh? The aura tick finally?
Yeah.
The portals of Shadowland.
Alright, now the real struggle for tonight begins. Can we make conversation while we do otherwise incredibly boring and mind-numbing nothing? I think so, right? We could figure it out. We're big boys. We can talk. We can talk about things. So, Pip, how about that local sports team? They balled some sports.
Certainly made some hoops baskets
Oh, yep.
while kicking it into the goal at the same time.
I bet somebody had a penalty, and somebody was the MVP. No, it's been a really quiet day. Something that I did do, since I didn't make it back on last night, I have a tournament that I'm... How to put it? Strongly requested to attend. You want to boot your Albert real fast?
Yeah.
I assume this guy's doing a better job than the Albert, but just barely. I don't know. So anyway, hey, welcome. Step on in when you're ready, but we're active, so you'll get a nice long break if you want it. But
Sorry, man, I just put my headphones on there again.
I said we're in progress, so you can have a nice long pike.
I prefer to fight, otherwise it takes forever. I think sometimes they force you as well, don't they?
I don't think so.
Not very often.
Just stay.
I've ever killed that way when deliberately trying has been about 6.
Yeah, just stay real close to the door, and you should be fine. The spawn-in door. Anyhow, I took the time last night to assemble my deck for that tournament that I strongly recommended that I attended to by my boss, because he made some comments about how I did not care for the Commander format. He made some comments about not being disparaging about those events.
Stand in front of the doorway.
You were disparaging those events.
So, well, I'm not a fan of the format. in general.
Probably the cost of make area, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a situation where I'm not a person that loves it, you know what I mean? But I know other people do, so live and let live kind of thing. But anyway, so I assembled the deck. I found a few changes that I want to make already based off of card selection. But
I'm at a bit of a conundrum. I've got
assuming I find those cards, we should be in good shape.
40,000 research to for the game. I don't know if it's easier for me to go to 50.
I wonder if I did a talk show from my hot tub about current events live on Twitch, if it would make money.
But ban you.
Why?
Current events.
There's a like they do if you put it in the real life chat or whatever, they should be fine.
There's a lot of ways out of sheer reflex just because there's so few.
Doesn't Twitch pretty much ban any political discussion?
No, not really.
Well, there's quite a few.
No, and it doesn't even have to be political, although it will inevitably turn that way because of the way that views are colored now. But I just mean it'll if you're in the right category, it'll
If I get to
should be fine.
let's say 24, is running a refund that was 20 quite risky.
Now, I may not have any viewers, depending on what people think of my view. It's kind of hard to get things going sometimes when you have no viewers.
Yeah.
You had quite a refund.
But I do have massive knockers.
If I had tips or Dania's hit points, maybe I would consider it. But
I'm kind of looking forward to getting those raids.
People are jealous of your hit points.
They're jealous of my hit points.
Yeah. You just gotta make it your entire focus, like I did. Your whole plan is to do nothing but get the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah.
Makes you tough.
It's like mine's all split between my hit points and my wisdom.
I certainly have a favorite soul. It's level 10 and has, almost as many hit points as I do.
Yeah, but you can't turn dead, and that's the best.
Yeah, I think I'll get to 30.
You know what? I'm gonna switch to that destiny just for you.
Get it done. We've got what, 19 days left? 18 days, 18 days. Something like. Yeah, I'm trying to farm tokens so I can PR because I didn't do favor and I don't want to do favor next life. Figured there was no point doing it first life because you don't need the XP. Running around double cap all the time.
I don't know. I feel like the method we do is probably the best way, but perhaps next go around Pip we try something different. Instead of just doing like Reapers all the way up and like doing favor one pass and done, maybe we try that rush to 30, get our 10 Reaper points, do a TR and go back down. And then try to do favor, yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. I think that's wrong.
Nah, because I think next season, unless that Reaper pet is just.
Oh, I'm not really interested in doing it a second time.
Yeah.
Again, it was something to make this year continue, and it's something that this is definitely the hardest hardcore we've done. Well, I've done so far, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a a build outside of my wheelhouse, doing a job that's not something I'm particularly used to. We did all the things. You know what I mean? Like, we can't complain that there was too much left on the table that we didn't do.
Yeah.
So now it's a matter of like finding a different pattern or whatever you want to call it to get there. So like maybe we do a thing where we just rush to 20, do a TR and go back down, or maybe we, like I said, we go all the way to 30, get our 10 points and go back down. Maybe you put maybe you put both of them there. I have no idea. I've literally never considered that as the way to play it.
I mean, it makes sense working on your Reapers on your way up because, I mean, kind of a shock if you get to the epics and that's when you start your Reapers with no Reaper points.
Yeah. But on the flip side, if you're gonna just get up there, you do hards to get your gear together, and then it's got to be less, right? It's got to be less. Like the first two have got to be killer, but then after that, it should be pretty much on par. And if you like, okay, we're 30, we're gonna go straight to like epic normal, epic hard, Feywild, and we're just gonna go farm, whatever, you know what I mean? Then you avoid everything.
Yeah, I guess if you're gonna play on TR, you're gonna reset all the first time bonuses.
Exactly. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't take very long to get to 20.
Right, yeah.
If you
especially on first life.
yeah. Well, even first or second life. So like those 2 lives would be pretty easy to get back up there.
Yeah.
Or it's possible that, you know, we plot out a slightly different path and we just race to both goals as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'd rather see. Rather do.
I just feel like,
especially if we can get like 2 more people.
well, that's just it. Like it was trying to say is that the faster you go, you need the more reliable people that know how to communicate.
Right.
So unless we get some people in advance, I don't know how likely that is. 1 minute.
If I take a wish for human memories, it gives you the human racial spotlight. My team is iconic. Yep, I'm a tiefling. If I take the wish for human memories on the DDO team, and I then use a epic true heart of wood, would it see me as human or tiefling?
The whole point of the wish for memories is that it gives you the past life you choose, as opposed to the one that you're up for. So yes, it wouldn't be the epic heart of wood, though. It would be the heroic true heart of blood. No, wood. Wood.
Yeah.
Crap. Wood or blood? No, it's... I'm losing my mind here. Blood is race, yes. So it would be the heroic true heart of blood.
Okay, but the thing is, if I want to TR, I have to get a level 30. But if I take a wish of human
Oh, I see
memory,
what you're saying. otherwise, you think you could TR earlier? I don't expect that. That's just about what past life you get, not about when you take the TR. It doesn't change anything until you're in the process of doing the TR. I mean, you
says
could
it
try it.
grants
I wouldn't use it up or anything, but
grants the human racial past life instead of your current race on your next racial reincarnation.
yes. But if you would have to ITR because you were an iconic, then I don't think it would allow you to TR instead. That's, I believe what you're asking is if you could essentially TR reincarnate before level 30. I don't think it'll let you do that.
As the wave of devils ebbs, a leader of Shavarat steps through the portal to engage you.
Good question.
I feel the battle may allow you a moment's rest and
think
time
that
to
you
move
would,
the bodies.
You could try it. I can't imagine it would work. If you didn't otherwise want the human past life, specifically, then it would be a waste of VDO points if it didn't work. Kind of nice you asked that question because I had to think for a minute. Am I an iconic race? Turns out I'm not. I'm Asimar, not Scourge.
Oh boy. So, long story short, for those of you who are not here, the debit card that we had the water account tied to expired a little while ago, and because of that, a payment was missed, and we had to go through some hoops to get it back. So this is like the first month that the auto payments should be coming back out again, right? Well, it was due yesterday. So the wife jumps on the account and takes a look at it, and it's not been taken out. She goes, okay, so I better make a payment. It's going to be one more month before it comes out automatically, you know? So she makes a payment. And then today, she was checking the bank account to see if it went through or whether they took out an extra late fee on it or whatever. And they took another $101 on it or whatever. So basically what happened is that they didn't take the $55 credit that we made when we realized that the water bill was late. They didn't take that on that right away. So they double charged us that when they processed our bill. So we paid for 4 months of water. Basically is what happened. And I'm just like, jeez. So she calls the bank. Well, she calls the water company first. The water company's like, well, it'll take you 3 months, or not 3 months, 3 weeks before you get a check back on your reimbursement. So like at that point you might as well just have kept it, right? And she looks at it and goes, oh, but this is still crediting. Your bank should be able to to put a stop on that. You can put a stop on it. The wife goes, okay, so she calls the bank, finds out, gets that figured out, like what the actual payment is on the credit history, goes to cancel it, and the woman that goes, it'll be $35.
Yeah.
And it was for like $46.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, we don't need to. I certainly don't need $14 that badly. So yeah, so now we just got like the next 3 months of water already prepaid for. I hope our local government sticks around at least that long. Guess it could also be a nice perk for the next person moving in. By the way, your water's paid for this month. Oh.
Yeah, our water bill runs like $50 a month, somewhere in there.
Ours would vary quite a bit depending on what's going on, right? So like for a long time I watered during the summer, right? Because I had a garden. Like for 5 years I had a garden and like a micro farm basically in my backyard. So like chickens and ducks, and we talked about kiwis and grapes and stuff the other day.
Yeah.
But like we had a lot of high water intensity stuff happening. So for a long time it was like $70 a month or whatever for water bill.
Yeesh.
But well, we also had a teenage boy that took showers when we made him, basically.
So one thing, like, I guess a lot of people don't do anymore, they used to do, you can get a hold of your water company and they can set it up so your outside water hoses don't count towards your water bill.
What?
Yeah. Like because part of the reason is because like for our area, we don't really actually pay for water. We pay for the water going down the drain.
Okay. Okay.
So you're actually paying for sewage, basically, whatever goes down the drain.
Well, that would make a little bit more sense, I guess, if the water's not going through the drain. Yeah, here we pay for water.
So yeah, here you can have them set up a meter on your outside hoses and stuff, and you won't get charged for that, or at least you get like a huge discount.
Well, a Supreme and a Demon's Blood. If there was like a trade 3 for 1, we would be good.
Yeah.
Well, it's disappointing when Chestnut decided to fight back. Did you really even want you to get out one of it?
I got pooped on. Or we have 2 bloods roll or whatever.
Yeah, who would like it? Demon Blood?
Unfortunately, we have a surplus of demon blood, so
Yeah.
I think we have like 7 or 8 demon bloods now. It's the other ones that we're really hurting
Same
for.
with, I've got the same with,
I think all you have left is the iron.
kids and technical, about 100. Okay. Just another slot in your inventory. Oh man.
About 14 tokens. Woohoo! You're not pulling your tokens. I would love them.
I don't know. I'll need it for PR.
I expect you to. Okay.
I don't know.
Up there in the ass.
Huh. I can't
Yeah, our
talk
water,
about that.
water bill, that's also including our trash and recycling and tree dump and all that good stuff.
Yeah. No, I just if I could make some of that stuff a little more streamlined, I would for sure.
But sadly, that's the only bill that I cannot set up as an auto pay. I have to pay that one every month. Like, stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't get with the program. Everybody else takes.
Your bank
Automatic
won't
payments.
let you automatically pay them, like as a direct payment thing.
I can, but then I have to. So, like with the bank, I have to set it up to pay them a specific amount.
Right.
Well, my amount's not specific every month. Like, it varies between $41 and $58.
Well, you pay him $50 every month, and then eventually you got to pay a catch up.
Yeah, I don't think they won't go for that. I can overpay him every month.
Yeah. And
Maybe.
then yeah, overpay him like like $1 or whatever, and then at the end they have to. Your last payment's not necessary. Yeah, I'd be surprised that you don't have an average thing that they'll give you and say, oh yeah, this is your average for blah blah blah. But yeah, we're just gonna be doing this for a little bit today, just running this over and over. So
We live in a small town, so.
yeah, well, can't be that much bigger than mine, right? We're at 50,000 now. My hometown was 30.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We live in a really small town. I think our population's like 2,000.
Slivers of black metal sprout from the passageways flanking this room. Flaming red bands whirl the infernal portals of the
I thought he wanted to stay out. I thought you said he wanted to stay out. My bad.
No, he doesn't want to fight. He said it was boring.
Well, it is boring, but I misheard, I guess. You two are both very quiet. But like 80% of people are super quiet for some reason. I don't know, anyway. This whole quest is too boring.
Yeah.
If there was another way to get these mats, other than rerun Shavrath quests,
Well, even if they
before we
could
could
run
level
around
20.
If we could at least get them out of the chest in the Explorer.
Yeah. Well, it's just
That'd be-
like I don't really understand why once your favor's counted, like at max, why you can't go back down into a quest. Like if a quest counts for full, the -4 penalty should be removed. You know, in my opinion.
Well, then you'd have people going and farming gear way over level. And
Okay. Do we
plus
care?
then you've also got, they run their character up to 30 and just go through the specific quests that they want to farm, and then they run their actual tune through it on. They're running through it at 30, and their regular tune is.
Well, nobody else can go in with you or whatever. You know what I mean? It would. Oh, that wouldn't really work either. I don't know, I just feel like that, especially the 19 to 20 thing is weird. It needs to be readjusted.
Yeah. Well, I know the reasoning behind it is because, well, once you get to 20, you unlock your epic feats and stuff, or your destinies or whatever, and then
Yeah,
you have
but
them at your
you're...
advantage.
But only once that character has already been up there for a while.
Right. Kind of the way it's set up right now, it's kind of a nice extra challenge.
I think that as a mechanic as a whole, that portion of it is the feel bads. Like, if you accidentally level past something and you're like, oh, like I did that the first season. Like I needed something and I just got in a hurry and I thought I already had it and I zerged past the level or something. It's a pain. Like,
say you're from New England.
Oh my god, please stop. Shoot, why are you making noises on my computer screen? But, the first year, I played that bard, right? And I needed Sonic Spell Power. Well, there's Sonic Spell Power in the game is not very easy to come by. Right? Yeah. So, I crafted. Well, I figured it out pretty quickly that for the Sonic thing, I had to have a character stay at the maximum level of 8 to be able to farm the 2 quests that drop that part. Because after level 8, those quests or that ingredient doesn't drop anymore, so I couldn't farm it out anymore. So that wasn't very fun, right?
Yeah. Yep, that's what I did too.
This is not very fun.
Yeah.
You know, anytime that you have to sit there and grind things out, it wouldn't be that bad if there was a variety of quests, I guess is my thing.
Well, it's like I said, if they at least had dropped in the Explorer area check, then that at least offers some variety.
Yeah. Well, that, or it would be nice if people would put them up for sale in the auction, or the shard. Maybe I should go sell all my bloods out there, too, I guess?
Yeah. Well, they were for sale last year.
Yeah. Well, but last year people did raids. Or season 3, a lot of people did raids.
True. Well,
heck, I think I did that raid.
I think we advertised a bunch that we were looking for ingredients, and so we started seeing them pop up on the shard exchange. It's like, yeah, sure, you need ingredients?
Okay. I mean, I'd rather not do it like that, but sometimes it is what it is.
I'm just saying that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, sometimes it is what it is. Yeah. Hey, and Finley, welcome to the stream, buddy. You're having a great day. What's happening?
That's one thing I'd really like to see him add, is a different type of auction system that has trading. It's like, hey, I've got these items for trade.
Here, this is the forum. You could probably, might even be a forum on the hardcore server on the exact same thing. I didn't even think about it. And I know that Mary's got that stuff too. Yeah, there is a thing, I think.
I've looked through there in the forums, and it's like nobody really uses the forum that much, except for a certain select number of people, you know.
Yeah, forums are not particularly.
It's one of those, if it's not actually in the physical game, people generally don't use it.
Well, it certainly doesn't hit a thing. Is Pip playing a nuker favored soul? No, Pip is playing a double crossbow favored soul. So while he does do some damage, it's not what most people consider a nuker. Let me see what the hardcore league. No, I don't actually know if there was a marketplace type thing. Alright, let me see. Alright, somebody has put an update on last week's forum post. I don't know when exactly this person replied, but we're going to read it.
Okay.
We're going to read it. Some additions, question mark. Look at the right side of the quest log, not the left. Okay. I think what they mean is that what your actual completed difficulty is.
Yes. Yep.
When checking your quest log, be sure to look at the right side to see Elite, Hard, and Normal. For the longest time in Hardcore Season 1 through 3, I would have the habit of looking at the left side of the log, thinking since it was highlighted, it was done. Can't tell you how many times I leveled and missed an easy quest because someone had shared it. I picked it up as part of some set area and picked up a quest at a lower level because it was convenient.
Yep, that happened to me.
Know the quests you are about to run. It helps to know the quests. I know this late in the game, it's not a lot of time to learn quests you're not familiar with. Why limited remaining time in Hardcore 4 is a valid consideration. Watching a YouTube walkthrough, reading the quest information on the wiki, and going to a live server to run the quest to get a feel for it are much less time than you think starting back in Korthos. Let's take an early nasty trap quest like STK Part 3 for example. You run into the first trap and die. You can restart the character. Get back up to level, run STK3 again, die on the next trap. The process can repeat a few times before you know where the traps are in STK3 and how to get around them. If you log into live server and run a high level character through STK3, you probably won't die in the traps, and even if you do, you can get rezzed and keep going without having to start a new character. 4. Be in charge of yourself when joining pugs. Pay attention to clues when joining a pug. If the players aren't matching a playstyle, zerging, no voice chat, whatever, from early that you find comfortable, leave the group and wait for the next one. Again, starting from Korthos takes a lot of time and doesn't guarantee better results. I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Have fun. Why there's a competition in Hardcore for placement on leaderboard. I believe it's far more important to enjoy the game. Hardcore does make DDO far better by presenting a serious challenge for heroes to overcome. At the end of the day, the best part of the journey is not the destination. Said by someone not on leaderboards. In all seriousness, I have enjoyed helping other folks get through quests they can hopefully get their rewards. I have my level 20 and 1750, and that's good. I'm still working on 5K while juggling that group. And then one member dies, we all help them catch up, and that's still fun. And then Dark Lord Mary says, yes, there's still plenty of time. Come get it. Many are still working on 5K and Reaper XP. But yeah, not a lot in the way of like, hey, I'm looking to trade this, but maybe I should put it in there. It's like, hey, do you still have?
It never hurts to try, right?
Yep.
Down they go.
I don't know. Again, I feel like, to be perfectly honest, I could probably maneuver things around in such a way where I don't need to use the boots. I just feel like the boots would be far superior.
Well, there's also another pair of boots that we can know, because those are too high level. Never mind. I was just thinking there's another pair of boots that work out of Charm Docks.
That prevent you from being teleported?
Yep.
Is that the heavy boots?
Yeah, the stone boots or something that you sink when you swim.
But they'd be level 29.
I wonder if there's a pair at level 15.
Also
Not
wouldn't
that we
matter. Oh boy. I have tonight's... Oh, I'm sorry. What?
I was saying Thrillsville, Mikey, Thrillsville.
Thrillsville. So, I have tonight's entertainment picked out. Some people are gonna groan, and some people are gonna be like, "Hell yeah!"
You know, we should do is rotate hiking.
Are you
The
here for
Last
night, or-
Stand, huh?
Were you here for the night, or were you taking it off, or whatever?
I'm gonna probably come back and do stuff. I'm definitely gonna eat, and then take a break when you go, and then we'll see how I'm feeling. Today has been an odd day. I've not felt bad, but I've not felt right either.
Yeah.
Like,
It's been, for me too, it's kind of been ho-hum kind of day, like.
well, not so much that. Like, the pain's not bad, but like, I have a lot of secondary symptoms with my migraines, right? Like, blurry.
Yeah.
I forget what they call, like corona something or other, like blurs in front of you, or like sound or light sensitivity in particular, like,
Gotcha.
or amplified. So like today, even though I'm not hurting real bad, I am in night running mode, right? I've got the light over in the corner that I'm using, and not the overhead light. Stuff like that. And it doesn't seem quite right. And I know from experience that when I start having to slow down my word choice, it's usually because my migraines are really bad. So I have the feeling that I'm having a really bad migraine where most of the pain is being blocked, which is great. But let's see what else is going on.
See, I'm kind of looking at my enhancements.
Yeah.
My Beacon of Hope tree. I'm wondering if I really need that. I mean, having that is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, is it really worth spending, what is it, how many points? What's the one tree? Is it really spending worth 23 enhancement points just for that, pretty much?
I don't know.
As opposed to, I could switch over to put points in like the falconry tree or something. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about it because I know one of the big things everybody talks about getting is, you know, the SLA closed wounds is really awesome, but I never use it because I've got so many other heals.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I feel a little awkward trying to, because are you currently like, you're like tier 5 in Pew Pew, right?
Yeah.
And,
Tier 5 and Inquisitive and Tier 4
and you're already like Wisdom to damage, right?
yeah. Which comes from the Inquisitive tree.
Right.
Well, the Inquisitive tree crossed with one of my favorite soul feats. I don't know, maybe at this point too, it's late enough in the game, it's like, nah, you just leave it.
Well, I mean, so I was just thinking with the purpose of what we have planned, right? Which is, for example, the raids that we have planned.
Yeah.
Like, it's not 0% that having, like, DI would be great. You know what I mean? But it doesn't sound like you would be wanting to switch over into that. So like you want to keep your DPS high. So I'm like, okay, well if you want to keep your DPS high, is it better for you to be like tier 5 in falconry? So you have the bird and all those like insta kill type attacks, but I'm like, probably not.
No, because then I have to re-gear for assassinate. Which, wouldn't go far.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to re-gear that much.
Well,
especially for like, again, specifically thinking about the raids that we need to do. Right? But then I'm just like, I think I'd rather you just be able to unload a massive pile of damage if necessary, you know?
Right. And that's kind of what the no holds barred crossed with the zealous of the righteous 6th tier moment or whatever. Those two combined are pretty sweet together. But that's just it. I wouldn't go full on top of the tree and be.
Well, I know, but I just mean if you were to move, I don't know, for whatever reason, I was just thinking if you were going to move 20 some points around, you could do some shenanigans.
Get more damage with the fire spells and stuff.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure you're going to get all that much out of the fire spells anyway.
Right.
But I have to sit down and take a long look at what's going on.
I think a lot of it has to do like with the light and alignment spells.
Alright, I have been invited to participate in a new chat thing. I know nothing about it. So, new first time chatter highlight is now available in chat. Lets creators and their mods identify and welcome newcomers in chat to their community when appropriate. The highlight is only available to creators and their mods in chat and is not displayed to the rest of your community. This feature is a limited release and will monitor feedback before making it more widely available. Awesome. So what do I have to do to turn this on?
Again before we finish?
Yeah. No, I guess not. I think that was... Sorry about that, mate. We,
You can't set a bay when you stop.
Oh, I mean, I had stopped, I thought, but actually I realized now that I had power attack or auto attack turned on.
But your voice is perfect. Nah.
Nah.
Was that last way? 3,000 points of damage. Just running on autopilot, I didn't realize it was the end fight. Oh, no.
That's mostly true.
Broken this time. Oh, I got robbed.
So is it only this chest here in the main chest?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just the last two chests that spawn. Alright, so yesterday somebody actually wanted the rune arm and I'd taken it by mistake. Does somebody want the rune arm now?
I've actually got that one. No, thank you. Yep. No, thanks. Add it to your benches, I guess.
Oh, you can't eat them because they are craftable. So it's literally something you just turn into plat. Unfortunate.
Gotcha.
Alright, well, unfortunately, I've just planned to do it again. Another devil assault. Yay! I'm gonna go sell repair real fast, though.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
That's the market one. We could do hard, I don't care. We were just doing normals for speed, but because like all the ingredients are kind of good.
I just don't want to do it. It takes too long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of just getting more opens on that chest than whatever, but now there's enough bodies, I don't think I care. I didn't really care before, but now I extra don't care. Alright. Just thinking I should throw some of this stuff in the garbage, but... Hey, welcome back.
Sorry. I wasn't concentrating.
You were for a very short period of time fired. Now you're welcome back.
He's letting you not even say goodbye.
That's right. Big jerk.
Stepped in. So better. So what are you watching tonight? I interrupted you earlier when you were talking.
The Last Stand.
The Last Stand.
So I had randomly the other couple of weeks ago, I had watched the X-Men movie. Right? And
okay, that's
and I was like, oh yeah, they made like 3 of these, right? From this genre. And I could remember like the second one, bits and pieces of the second one, and the ending. And I was like, oh yeah, and then Jean Grey did stuff, right? But I could not think of anything that happened in the movie. I looking at the back, I see Juggernaut's in here. I really did not remember.
He is.
Got a very high constitution.
It's also got Archangel in it, which is weird because I don't remember Archangel being a kid in the comic books.
He was not a kid, but he was Angel.
Oh, that's right. He was.
Yeah, and Angel was an original X-Men.
Yeah. I forgot. They showed him. They showed him as a kid and then growing up.
I don't remember very much about it. So like,
Okay.
I was like kind of excited to watch it and be like, whatever, but I couldn't find it anyplace. Like it wasn't on Disney Plus, it wasn't on Netflix, it wasn't on Amazon. You know what I mean? Like I could have bought the whole thing on like a bundle, I think on YouTube, the Google store, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I didn't need all of them. I just needed the last one. Right? And they wanted like $45 for the X-Men collection. It's like the 3 of those movies or whatever. I don't know what it was. It was amount of money that I went, God, if I spend this, my wife found out so I could watch this movie, I'd be dead. You know what I mean? Like it was more than $10. So I just happened to be at the arena the other day, and I just again randomly saw it basically sitting on the top of the pile, and I snagged it. So all I have to do now is get that watched. Yeah, man, that's why we were doing normals before. We're both mostly just bullshitting and killing whatever monsters we happen to see.
You're just chatting on Discord? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, we're just on Discord. We're just shooting the breeze, talking about cartoony tunes.
Jabberjocking. Jabberjon.
So, I don't know. I'm kind of excited to.
They just added the weapon.
Ransack these optional. 951 XP I got for that one.
Yeah. I've got like 13 tokens or something, so we've probably done this 9 times now. So I'm kind of surprised we're getting experience for anything.
We should do a Lord of Dust run.
Yeah, probably should have switched Destiny. Oh well.
Do something a little different.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, again, we're really just looking for the boots mats. We're not really looking for the tokens as much. I put the tokens up so people can come in and get it. I mean, it's good to have some, but get that first stack of 20 so we can get out if we needed to. But
Yeah, I think we're at the point where it kind of be insane to TR.
yeah.
You can do it all over again.
Well, I could see doing a TR, get back to Solana or whatever if I decide I wanted to try to put together a budget tank.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you said you're out of tokens over there.
Yeah, I am out of tokens over there.
I should be passing you my tokens.
No, it's fine. Keep them. Or Vic, I
Okay,
think, is
so
trying to TR on the hardcore. What it sounded like. So, really wanted to do someone a solid. We could pass them to him for a run, but.
Who needed them?
Vic? Hey, welcome. We're, I don't know, maybe a third of the way through. So come on in and put your feet up. Not gonna listen to this, but I'm gonna stick my eye over here. So there's, I don't know how much you're a Stargate guy.
I love Stargate.
Alright. So I'm also a fan of Stargate. You can pass him to Vic. Sounds like he's looking to get a ET or TRN soon. But, so a little while ago, about 8 months ago, something like that, one of the writer, producer people who have been involved with Stargate since, like, forever, made some comment somewhere saying that he was in the process of working on a new series. And then people are like, was this mean? Was this, you know what I mean? And then a couple of weeks ago, he made another follow-up statement about a new series. So people are like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Last week or the week before, somebody basically came out and said that Amanda Tapping has come on as the director. And she got on whatever social media thing that she likes to use and was basically like, that's not true. I would love to be part of a thing, but as far as I know nothing. But then I guess people had said that she had done something similar to that before when she was a guest star in a different show.
Oh, saying she's not gonna guest star and then poop, she's on the show.
Yeah. So like they've made that tricky statement before, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, now she's on on somebody's podcast who I think is in that group of writer, director, whatever.
Yeah.
So So now the internet is once again refired. Oh, does this mean that she's back in the inner circle? And you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just wanted to bring back Stargate Universe.
I know, I like Stargate Universe too, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, I mean, it could. Again, that the character who played Eli, like I said before, he like dropped a whole bunch of weight and looks really good now. I've seen the Chloe character doing something. Like a lot of those people are not super busy, I don't think. I would just like to see a continuation in that universe. I particularly found that universe to be appealing.
Yeah.
And
well,
that they could do a lot of things with it.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see like a new Stargate team put together, like based out of Atlantis on Earth. And then you can do that for a while and then do something else. The problem is that they've kind of got all the ultimate weapons from the ancients now, right? And the other people.
Yeah.
So now you got to come up with a bigger and badder bad guy. I don't know. I think personally it'd be more fun to take and make a spin-off like of the Lucian Alliance. And then you can explore the universe some more, but you explore it from like this struggling kind of
criminal perspective.
Well, I mean, yes, criminal, but also like, why are we like what laws are they breaking? Right, you know what I mean? Like, and if they are breaking a bunch of laws, why are we passing judgment on them? Like, when they come and do shit over here, sure. Or to an ally, okay. You know what I mean? But, like, the rest of the time, it's just people in the Wild West trying to make a buck. You know what I mean? But you get to treat it like this gritty, get down, work your way up this organization, kind of like in this power void, and there's all those factions fighting with each other. Like I think you can make a really compelling show in that universe, taking some of those kind of lines and working with it. And then maybe you have a couple of like older SG members that choose to retire off-world or whatever. Or perhaps you just use that as you try to find people that you had from the SG, like One or Atlantis or whatever teams, be in backgrounds of scenes. Right? So people who are really astute and they're paying attention can be like, oh, that's so-and-so from SG1. And then it turns out the whole time is like a sting or being coached by and the whole... It really is like Earth is going to help straighten out the Lucian Alliance from the inside. You know what I mean? And then that could be based out of... I feel like you could do a lot of stuff. Coerced agent or, so-and-so agent of Earth.
I guess I never really cared that much for the Lucian Alliance stuff.
Sure. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's the greatest either, but it's, again, a loose. God, it's a little bit scary, actually. It's like a loose-lit celled organization, right? That's very easy for a great centralized power to put down. It's the reason why small terrorist groups work really well, is that it's hard for one big organized machine to crush that. Those things are better able to like organize their will towards another great power. So like the Orin or whatever it was called, with their big mega spaceships.
The
like,
Ori.
Yeah, the Ori. Like that was easier for people to get behind because it was two big powers bashing up against each other, as opposed to like the Lucian Alliance being the more small, gritty.
Actually, what I wouldn't mind seeing from the Stargates would be like a prequel series of
Like Origins?
like the gods interacting.
Oh, so even before then. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think the problem with that is the recasting shenanigans.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could do like Raw and some of the other ones that you never really saw.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like who was it? Mercutius. His story of fighting the.
Devil's Eggs, a leader of Shadow steps into the hall to engage.
I don't know. I just would like to see that universe explored some more. I think that, like, the thing that Universe did that it's the same kind of thing that I was trying to describe to my players in our most recent Dungeons and Dragons campaign setting, that it felt like we had happened. Like the show had gotten too large. Oh, the wife's calling, excuse me. She wanted to know if I wished to have some wings. Who is more lucky than me?
Just part of one wing, is that all you get? Some wings?
Well, she decided she was going to order from Pizza Hut, so she's going to order me some amount of wings. So later, when we're done, I'll be able to go get some food. It may even be somewhere near hot and somewhere near, like, fresh. Probably shouldn't get my hopes up too high, though. Like, what else could you do with that show, though? Like, in that universe easily. I guess you could have, like, you could pissed off one of the aliens that they had discovered and started backtracking. But the problem is that, again, that threat is so potentially far away.
Still a little annoyed that they never introduced the furlong.
They kind of did, right? And then they stopped.
No, they just made mention of them, but they never actually showed them.
You sure? I feel like they were in one episode. They looked like little teddy bears.
Nope, that's what everybody assumes, that they're furry creatures because they're furlongs, but they never found them. That was the only one of the, what, 5 or whatever that they didn't meet. Because they met the Nox, they met the Asgard, the Ancients. But they never came across the furlongs.
Yeah. Appearance. Colonel Jack O'Neill concluded furlings must be cute and cuddly creatures based solely on their names. Perhaps blah 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 blah. I have a picture.
No, he just thought they were furry and fuzzy little creatures. But they never did find them.
Oh, maybe because that was... Maybe what I'm thinking of were furlongs on Wormhole Extreme.
Hmm.
Were there furlongs on Wormhole Extreme? A furling skeleton was made in Paradise Lost, but was later pulled.
See, that's one.
The writers have stated, although they have seen furling technology and the furling legacy, no actually furlings ever appeared on the show. I guess that's right then.
But they could go back and do the Ancients.
They could.
That would be pretty interesting.
They could do an ancient. I mean, you could do the... Again,
Yeah,
the
sorry,
specifically
yeah,
the
right.
word. You could do...
Yeah.
Again, I don't think it necessarily a prequel show is necessarily the way to go, but...
Right. They just need to bring back the universe. That's all there is to it. Because that was going somewhere that was nice. Because so most of the Stargates are all colorful and happy and fuzzy, whereas universe was dark.
Are
And
they?
it was kind of going to
I
a
feel
dark
like it was
place.
all dark. I mean, it literally started off with a being who will kidnap you and steal your body and make you ride along watching in horror for centuries. Like that was literally the opening premise of this show.
Universe?
No, of the Star SG-1.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's literally how it starts. Like,
Yeah.
body snatchers, and you're going to be there, and you're going to know about it the whole time.
Yeah, but it was kind of...
And then,
I kind of see the original SG-1 in Atlantis as, I don't know, cartoony compared to...
sure, I will agree that it was a much different scenario, right?
Yeah.
However, dark, I will not grant you dark. Like being more dark. Atlantis, they woke up a galaxy full of wraith who like literally touch
Suck the
you
life out of
and
you.
suck the life out of you.
Yeah. But still.
Like that's pretty dark. And you had to do that. You ended up waking them up by trying to honorably put down your commander. Come on. I feel like like all those shows were dark. Being trapped on a spaceship and impossibly far away from home. I'm gonna say that's not as dark. Like the show itself was gritty because it was more personal and about the
Yeah.
personal, and it was a lot less like, oh yeah, these two people had the hots for each other. This guy can never get lucky because his wife got kidnapped. And this guy, you know, he's got a snake in his tum-tum.
Oh, now it's moving.
Alright, you have the magic touch. You go touch all the chests now.
Those sweet, sweet tokens. Oh boy, another demon's blood.
No. Another chest too. Sweet.
Nice.
I've never seen someone with the touch like that.
No, I can't. I'm fucking second guessing now. I can't really think.
One to go.
We ran Hayden's Rest and we opened up all of those idiotic, yes please. We opened up all of those idiotic chests that hand out bows and arrows and things. Everyone was in it.
There's a keepsake, it looks like. If you're not going to use that keepsake, mate, we could definitely take that keepsake. Did you pass me
bound.
this?
I passed Balak my token.
Okay, well, I must have left one in the chest then, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what happened to it. But Radiant took that keepsake, so...
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, this is in the ancient word of my people. One more? Actually, let me double check that
chest
somebody...
ransacked, so I can't do another one, you know, for any value. We're getting no XP and no tokens.
Understood.
So I gotta go unless you're gonna switch to doing something else.
Yeah, not for a little bit anyway. We're still hoping to do, I said, some raids maybe today, like the level 20 raids, but I think you said you weren't flagged anyhow.
Alright. Thanks, Paul.
Alright, have a good one. Good luck. Radiant ninja'd away as well.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
Sounds reasonable. We'll send some messages here.
Yeah, I'll put another...
Sorry, Pip's stepping away to the restroom really quick.
24. Are you running hard again, or you don't? Or...
Yeah, we'll do hard again. It's fine. I'm trying to see if we can acquire that item, that boot material from
Radiant?
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a good item for the trade commendations in for.
Alright, Radiant's gonna mail that keepsake over. So
Cool.
now we just need 2 irons.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, Pip's back. Is everyone ready to go again? How fun.
back to normal?
I feel like we could probably still pull off a hard. We just have to pay a little bit more attention. We could go back down to normal. I don't care. Alright, it's fine. We can just do normal. I have no dog in the race. We just need to open chess.
Yep.
Just need to open chess.
Go finish this.
Who's the buffs?
Dear the bush. Dear the bush.
Guards huddle at their barricades. The stench of brimstone permeates the air. Guttural chanting echoes from beyond the door ahead. Slivers of black metal sprung from the passageways flanking this room. Cradled in their bags.
Let's go.
Portals of the shadow. The portals of Shadowrath flare with activity.
Oh boy. Well, I really hope that we get these and we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Just be done. And then I hope we can go get it knocked out.
Yes. That would be nice. So what else we got going in the Wild Wild West world?
Oh man. What do you mean, like out in the theoretical Stargate world, or
I don't know. Anything.
just in
So,
general?
another show I'd love to see them bring back with updated everything since, you know, it's 2021.
Just good
would
luck.
be Sliders.
We kind of have a Sliders.
Do we?
It's like Rick and Morty.
See, I've never even seen it.
Rick and Morty is kind of like all your sci-fi tropes glued together, but essentially controllable sliding basically is the crux of their primary gag.
Yeah, it's one show
I really enjoy it. I find it to be quite a bit of fun. I started the Loki TV show yesterday. The wife and I, that's the reason why I didn't come back yesterday. Is
I thought it was a movie.
Nope, it's a TV series.
Oh.
All of those kind of things are basically, they're like little 10 episode. Think of them more as like, oh, what is it called? Like a mini series,
Oh.
like a 12 episode mini series, 8
Gotcha.
episode mini series, somewhere in that ballpark, 8 to 10, and they're kind of in a similar genre there.
Ooh, that'd be a good mini series re-up nowadays. It'd be pretty interesting. Would be I don't know if you've ever seen
The vampires that have like the blood drinking, the artificial blood.
No.
Okay.
V was a miniseries back in like the late 80s, I think, where aliens came to Earth and they looked just like us, and you know V stands. It stands for visitors.
Oh wait, like they were the lizard people with the fake skin.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
I loved that show.
I feel like that show died. That show was literally carried on the fact that those two chicks were so hot.
Yeah, but it's still
that show is literally those two girls looking at each other.
I still like that show though.
Yeah.
Here, mercy, 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 mercy.
Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't great. It was fine. No, I feel like your best bets, honestly, are going to be things like Believe It or Not, or no, not Believe It or Not. What is it called? Greatest Superhero or something? Great American Hero.
Yeah, I never really cared for that show.
I love that show. That show is like, I think that a show that's willing to take itself a little less seriously, but still kind of tackle some of these various issues floating around, or like what people are looking for. Because like, I'm gonna get on my TV show watching soapbox. Ratings are down all over the place, right? But these shows either have like a cult following that are big enough to keep them alive, or they get out there and they tell stories that are going to be enough accolades that the TV show, the TV station or whatever, is going to keep their show on the air just because they're sending out the messaging of whatever that they want.
Right.
Like, I gave up on Grey's Anatomy. Like, I liked Grey's Anatomy for a long time. The first couple of seasons, I thought it was pretty fun.
We did too. Yeah.
Up until, I mean, honestly, it feels like a long time to me ago, but it probably wasn't that long ago. When the April and Jackson character had gotten divorced, like couples had separated, is basically at that time period when I was like, all right, I'm over this. Like,
Yeah,
I just can't.
Yeah, a couple of years ago was when we stopped watching it.
Yeah.
It's like,
And they still have more, and the wife has been watching it, and she's just like, she comes to me, she's like, I don't know why I keep watching these shows. I'm like, don't, stop. She's like, they're just so crazy. I'm like, then stop. She's like, but I can't. That's why she's going back and watching, like, Star Trek right now. You know what I mean? Like, Star Trek are trending like crazy right now. They're everywhere. I go to Twitter right now, I bet you that's probably still trending for some reason. You know, or at least it's in that quick thing. But it's because people are looking for a TV show that's good, entertaining. It's not overly preachy.
Yeah. So have you seen much of Star Trek Destiny? I think it is. Is that that's the newest one?
You mean Discovery?
Oh, Discovery. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've watched all the Discovery. It's very good. It could be potentially one of the best Star Treks ever.
I've only watched a couple of them so
But
far.
it's like, again, it's like 3 miniseries, like using the same characters. It's not
Not really a TV show.
Yeah, like this season was the one that felt the least like a miniseries, or like a movie stretched over a dozen episodes.
Yeah.
Where this is, they might be at a place where now it's going to be a TV show. I just feel like I wasn't having a conversation. I was watching a conversation where people were talking about. They were talking about manga versus American comics, right?
Yeah.
And they started talking about how the
I think I saw the same discussion.
the writing for American comic books are like all episodal. That's how our TV show is formed. That's how, you know what I mean? Like all these things are.
Yeah.
There's no massive continuation. There's no big building. And I think these seasons of again, this feeling more of these miniseries type thing feel better, even if they're shorter. Like, it doesn't feel like there's as much filler. You know what I mean? So instead of having to have everything be contained within one episode, because you're releasing 12 of them, if you have some of them that go back to back instead of being to be continued, you know, that it's just all like that. And I honestly think that it makes a better show.
Well, that's because they're generally following the premise of a book.
Well, not just that, but also...
No,
like,
but I mean the style of the book. A book has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Sure,
They
sure.
generally, they don't well, some books do randomly jump around in the middle of the book, but for the most part, most books they have a beginning, a middle, and an end. You know?
Well, I think it has more to do with the idea that packing up having the whole thing, like all 3 acts, be in one 1 hour TV show, is hard to do, and it makes things feel crushed, like ramped.
Right.
Where if you can build forward and have those things explored a little bit slower, then I just feel like it makes a better story.
Right.
And that people seem more drawn to it.
And and shows that are episode based also, you know, they can tend to jump around a lot, or they're disjointed. You know, the story doesn't have anything to do with the next story.
Well, they can because there's a lot of would-be filler episodes, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're putting together a 20 to 23 episode season, right? And if say you have 11 episodes written that are going to go towards this story that you want to do, and you're like, oh, sweet, we got picked up for double that. Now I have to double my stories.
Yeah.
Like how are we gonna just glue this stuff in here? Like,
yeah.
You know, where if you could. Oh, I have the feeling that people are here. Hey, we might need to boot this hireling in a minute. I suspect that Saf is about to get in here. May not get on tonight. Work sucks today. That sucks.
He's got a lot of kills.
I'm just waiting for him to make more episodes of Dark Mirror.
Alright. Let me put this back up. And I suspect I'm going to look at this friends list and see Saf is on. That is Me Too, right? That's Me Too's cleric that Saf was driving around yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's actually him then?
Maybe. It's weird because, like, I thought they usually played opposite hours of what Saf was pretty much on. Because we only got to talk to Me Too a few times.
Well, we played more than I think, but...
I think it was a lot of, like, when we did challenges.
Yeah, it sounds like Saf. Well, Saf's on her mobile, so I have the feeling that that's actually Me Too. But he is not level 24, and she is, so maybe that's what's going on.
Maybe 22, I think.
So I have the bad feeling that we are not going to have anything to do.
Oh, man. So maybe it will be an early night.
Could be. Could be. We'll just have to see, man. Like, this is the real challenge with trying to squeak out favor on the hardcore and putting things together, because you need bodies, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that we can't do things, the two of us, but what do we really have that we want to go risk the biscuit on, where by waiting until Monday we would have 4 people?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
I definitely don't want to run the risk of running a TOD or TOD. That's not worth the risk.
yeah.
Which is 2. Because what are we going to do? Sit in there for, 4 hours while you beat on the boss while I just run around?
God, that would take so long.
Yeah.
And don't quote me, but I think there's like what was I saying? Oh yeah, I just don't think that that it's worth the hassle, man, to like try to figure out how to cram through. You know what I mean? Like, if we go in 2-man elite Lord of Blades, which is what I was kind of thinking, that we could put up a Lord of Blades and try to fill it. But again, if we just look at the bodies in the building, right?
Yeah.
Between 20 and 24, there's you and me.
Well,
the guys in this group.
And I think part of it too is about the only people we're going to be able to find to be able to do Lord of Blades are people who are, 30 plus on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 30 on the leaderboard should have the prereqs done for it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whereas a lot of people probably aren't. Because those are quests that a lot of people skip just because they don't know them. They kind of know them, just don't run them hardly ever. And it's also, I'd like to wait for Saf so she doesn't have to try and find people too, because
right.
then she'd be stuck in the same boat we were when we got there. It's like, oh, well, I got to spend the next 2 weeks waiting for people, which may or may not show up.
Okay. Explain to Saf that may or may not be completely slammed all weekend.
What was that?
Oh, sorry. Saf and I are talking back and forth with private messages here on your Discord. And I said we could always do stuff on Monday if you don't feel up to it, and she wanted to know if I was out. With the Magic tournament this weekend, I'm probably not super around. Like, we've
and I'm
got.
not gonna be around.
You're not gonna be around either.
No, I'm going down home to visit mom.
Okay, so like it's pretty unlikely that I'll be around much. So.
Yeah, we're trying to go down there and visit every other weekend now.
Alright.
Gotta make up for last year.
Yeah.
All the craziness going on, couldn't really go down, so.
So I know. I was gonna say something about code, but I think I decided that it's probably fine to let it go. I just feel like, if nothing else, hopefully this last 14 months has taught people to take the government a little bit more cautiously, like listen to things a little bit more carefully.
Probably not.
Well, like the news that's coming out now, which feels like a lot of people had talked about previously. Again, it keeps getting reported on the former conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, I really do hope it gets people to, like, take a look at the machine a little bit here and be like, wait a minute, this machine is just more pounding into this or whatever.
Well, but I've always been a very skeptical person in general, so
I try to be.
when it comes to unsubstantiated things that have no evidence. Or lack a level of evidence that another blood. Really?
All the bloods, everybody. All the bloods.
Oh.
I love it. We have
Well,
more. Get them all.
Yeah. Get another popper. Did you get another blood too?
I don't think so, unless someone passed one to me.
Oh.
Me too got a blood. I kind of wish I had the shards to reroll, but on the other hand, I don't know what else we'll do if we don't have this to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an overabundance of blood, just no iron. I didn't loot the other chest, did I? I just left. Okay.
Yeah.
Guess when we've ransacked that chest, I get one more. I don't know. I think they're doing lots of good stuff right now. I think a lot of old TV shows that didn't necessarily get the biggest review season, I don't know how to put it, like stuff that were secretly really good, or at least the premise is really good, it just needs some work. Like some old stuff could come back. Like I was watching a thing on Silverhawks. I'm back in again for round number whatever. But like Silverhawks would make a great like revised thing.
What's that?
Thunderhawks. Well, so alright man, have a good one. I don't even know what we did. We just did normal.
Yeah.
Do you want to do hard instead? We can do hard instead. It's just with 4 people. It's a little bit more risque. Alright, my friend, have a break. We are just going to smash this for a little bit longer, I guess. Take care, mate.
Now I'm waiting for them to start making episodes of Black Mirror again.
Yeah. But like, so alright. So I'm trying to think what what was like recently. Well, like the new Kevin Smith thing that's coming out, right? The new He-Man. Like it's like an updated animated thing. Like stuff's prime for some of these old things to come back. I think.
I don't know. I complain a lot of times about them bringing stuff back because it's like, doesn't anybody have any new ideas?
Sure they do. But it doesn't mean if you don't have a great original place to jump off from, that you can't use that to like hook into another audience. Plus, we're literally talking about necroing things back from the dead, right?
Yeah.
TV shows and things like that. Movies that need a sequel. Or even a TV show that needs a sequel.
There's that other Netflix show that I really like. What is it? Love, Robots, Death, or something.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I can't remember. It's animated. I don't know if you ever read the heavy metal comic books.
No.
Alright.
Well, you
You
go
ever-
to the art.
Hey, me too. Ninja Den over here. Yeah, we're in Discord. Are you still trying to talk through the... Go ahead.
You guys did CR or something.
Yeah, we did an ETR. We wanted to come back and take another shot at the level 20 raids. When Saf said that she was kind of interested in doing some, we thought, go for it.
Yeah, Sav is pushing to get the DOD and Lord of Fate.
Yeah.
So I said to her, yeah, sure, but let's get it tested.
Yeah, I figured the four of us, like Pip and I talked about going and trying a two-man Lord of Blades again. But,
Lord of Fate isn't the hard one. It's DOD that you gotta watch out.
yeah, but I have not done either of them all that much. So, and we just two-manned it on normal. So, I haven't done hardly any of them really in years.
I think Tower of Despair has been like 6 to go that
And I've only done Tower of Despair once, I think, ever.
Yeah.
But I know the ice beams part where you gotta run around the room. I know that part just because it's in whatever that other raid is.
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah,
So I kind of know that part.
I still feel like Saf is going to lead things around the room with wings, and she'll just want that to know that it's covered.
Yeah.
So then it's just going to be a matter of beating down the devil.
Yeah, I don't know if Rose is still around the same level, but I'm sure that we can.
Rose is 30.
Well,
Yeah.
don't be surprised if you hear about it. That she's the art.
Yeah. Well, I was under the impression that there was at least one person that was currently at 30 that was planning on doing an ETR back to 20 for the raid. But I don't know who Saf was talking about.
But she definitely still has a couple of other friends that are more than capable of actually. I don't know who she's running with. Lately, she's been doing a lot of stuff when I'm in bed.
Right.
Like, and I don't know who exactly she does it. She says they are.
There was that, Balance or
Yeah, I don't know. She said that she's been in somebody else's Discord a lot, and somebody was like with us last night, and they were logging in and out to save an XP pod of some sort. That's all I know.
really think that that was the most fun thing to play on hardcore.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So good, man.
It's pretty good. I know that it was near the top of my list for this season for me, but again, I got challenged, so.
Yeah, I know. You told me about them. You had to play some tank.
Yeah, had to play some
No, I
tank.
actually went. I actually went back to the claw just for the divine evade. So good on hard.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I still think that Bard would probably be the strongest with some trapping skills for sure.
Yeah, I don't like crafting all that much.
I know, but it makes you like the most useful sit in the back person, right? Like everybody
Yeah.
wants you to like, oh sweet, we have a bard song now, so you can just get in here and sing these songs, and oh, we need a trapper, so like come up here and take care of this, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you don't kill anything, if you do those things, then that's all that
And it
matters.
doesn't matter which group you're in, you're always gonna be wanted.
Right, exactly. So like,
The combination Sapphire and Meteor, Sapphire is really the damage, and not more the buffer and the divine intervention.
right.
Left and right throwing some heals out. I do some damage, just way less than her. The
Sure.
combination of us do divine. Well,
Yeah, I think especially when things start getting close next year, we need to put a group together, coordinate with people, and see what's going on, what people want to do for their goals, and see if we can't. Because Pip and I were talking, we spent a lot of this season on hardcore, and
I haven't logged into Orion for like 2 months.
yeah, so like I need to get back to like Serlona pretty soon, or I'm just going to get to a point where I'm ready to switch games for a while. So I'm kind of hoping that we can get a little bit higher, call it a hardcore soon. Then take a break and maybe do a shorter season next season.
I said that to staff already, like amount of people that we now already be perfect. To actually coordinate a group of like 5, 6.
Yeah, it would be nice to have like a 4 or 5 person group all the time.
Yeah, the advantages Sapphire and me pretty much are very on each other's schedule. If I can't play, then the drag me along, and he can't play, then I'm gonna drag him.
Right.
And we try to match each other's schedule, and that's kind of difficult with a static group of 5, 6. That's hard to work.
Yeah. Well, even if you don't have everybody playing all the time, right? At least having overlaps for like the big things. So you have like your 10 people or 12 people or whatever in a couple of different groups, and you're like, okay, so this week we're going to try to do these raids. You know, and in advance you have okay, nobody take level 14 before this day, and then we'll knock out this raid and this raid, together.
And that's what we did with Reaper's Fate. She was like, yeah, I'm coordinating with a bunch of try to do it. And I
Right.
just said to her, like, let's wait for taking that level, let's wait till we can coordinate. And I believe we sat on level 8, probably 5 or 6 days before we could get that raid done.
Yeah, see, and I'd much rather have pre-coordinated with people and just did it in advance, like, if it was like Pip and I, you and Saf, and maybe like 2 to 4 others, and you can just be like, okay, everybody, try to be within range to do this raid within, on this day. And then if you are, then we'll try to do it the next day. You know what I mean? And then this way, everyone kind of in advance has a little bit of a goal and like, oh, if I want to catch this raid, then I need to get this stuff done, by tomorrow, or like a calendar at least.
Yeah, we did that with Vision Construction and Hawk the other day. I said to Sapphire, like, look, that's the only thing that we still need. He said, yeah, I'm working on it. And at a certain moment I got a phone call and she said, look, I coordinated with people, Friday, that time, try to be on. So basically at that particular moment I think we had like 8, and we wouldn't have them for the rest, for those raids.
Yeah.
Those are the type of raids that you actually want people with and know what the fuck they're doing. Definitely hard. Can go so wrong in so many things.
Well, I kind of like your idea, instead of, get a group of like 4 or 5 people that can take, take Thursday, the first Thursday, Friday off, and then run Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and knock out the 5 days.
Yeah, with the hopes
4
of being
days.
done in the first week.
Yeah.
Definitely can't keep up with that schedule. I am looking at 4 hours a day, and in weekends less. Weekends are very hectic.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why we'd want to coordinate so people could plan together. Like, of course, it's easiest for people that can do it on a.
In 1 week, it's a big no.
Yeah.
Don't have fun.
Yeah. I would like to do something like that, so it's like done. Like, what can we get done in this week or whatever?
Yeah.
And instead of like, okay, well, let's do, hey, we got 5,000, 2,000, 5,300 favor or whatever. Oh, we got to do this challenge. We got to do that challenge. Like, no, I just want to skip all that junk and just plow through. And
I don't know. I use the challenges so I can skip the other stuff.
I just feel like you're not getting so much from challenges that matter. What?
This guy has not anything yet at the moment. We even did Temple of Elemental. I think we lost like 10 stars or 12 stars or so on challenges, and that's it. All the rest is done. Yeah, except for obviously Shroud and Abbott. Obviously those are a big no on hardcore.
Yeah.
Hey, we tried getting
Getting
something.
into Abbott.
Hey, we tried getting something. We tried getting a group for that last season.
Yeah, but last season you had three lives. Last season we actually ran Shroud.
Right, but I mean, we were actually trying to get a group for Abbott last season.
I tried really hard.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Last season you had 3 lives. You could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sacrificed life on Shroud, and we sacrificed life on Temple of Elemental Level 2 on Mount Hard.
Time to loot the bodies.
Why am I Shroud? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna do my best to try to learn Temple of Elemental Evil Part 2. Well, Part 1 and Part 2 for
I
next.
said already to Sav.
In the future.
Part 1 I know, but I said already to Sav, like, the moment we go back to Orion, we need to go to Temple of Elemental Level 2 and get that end fight down.
Yeah.
That is such a hard end fight, man. And basically the way how you can get it done is with that hireling,
Yeah.
this guy.
Yep.
You can get it done with that guy, but it's still iffy, man.
Yeah.
It's still very dangerous.
Yeah, we tried it last season with him, and yeah, it was That's where we found out about the if you log out while you're dead, you lose all your lives bug.
Yeah, Lost Life, I was so pissed off. I had that happen with my very first character. And that character was around 3,500 favor at that moment when I had that happen.
We also learned that there's a bug in there that it doesn't matter where you are, Zuckerboy can hit you anywhere in that dungeon.
Yep.
Because Dom got hit at the entrance.
Yep.
It's like, what the hell?
That big pulse goes way further than you.
Well, it can go anywhere in the dungeon, period. Because he actually detoured to the entrance and was standing at the entrance to get the completion, and it nailed him at the entrance, standing at the entrance.
I did not know it could go to the entrance.
Yep.
That's new to me.
Yeah, they killed him last season.
Speaking of hard things, can we talk about why Famine Reapers are literally one-shotting entire parties with Sonic Blast? Is that true?
Who is one-shotting with Sonic?
Famine Reapers? Is what chat's
yes.
saying? I have not seen that.
Yes. Sonic Blast, I said it before, I'm going to keep saying it. At this particular moment, bards are strangely skilled. The spells, they overscaled it. I said it before, I'm going to keep saying it. They overscaled it, in my opinion. That it is basically doing way more damage than it should be doing.
Still,
And a Famine Reaper, and a Famine Reaper does already more damage with spells than any other class or any other character or any other enemy. So if it shoots the Sonic Blast, you can be sure it's gonna hurt.
yeah, see, I don't know. I feel like the Famine Reapers in particular have not been a challenge. Like,
Saf and me have been running Reaper quests with just level 6 characters. I still need to get to 100k Reapers. Yeah, I'm only at 50. That's how few time I have lately.
You're at what?
But I'm only at 15k. I still need 85k.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm still far away.
lots
I
of
don't
first
even think I'm
times, it
gonna
looks
make
like. Lots of first times.
Yeah, but basically we are running with level 6 characters to try to get our Reaper. And I'm not scared on my board of any Reaper except for Famine. A Carnage Reaper, I don't care. A Plague, what else do you have? A Fear Reaper, I don't care. But that Famine Reaper, that's target number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
They are nasty at low level.
See, we always go straight for the Plague Reapers.
Yeah, the plagues are the scary ones because I can hold everything else forever.
Yeah, at higher level, I definitely agree. At higher level, a Plague Reaper is the difference between life and death.
Well, even at low levels, I feel like I don't think we cared much.
Because you get a Plague Reaper in there on you, and then one of the symbiotes, and you're pretty screwed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, but what I mean with at low level, you kill Reapers fast enough anyway, at low level. Basically, 2 spells or 3 spells and a Reaper is down. But the Famine has the range to get to, while a Plague and a Carnage and a Fear, in order for them to hit you, they have to come to. That's why I'm not scared of those guys. At Famine, you're gonna shoot 1 spell and you're gonna have 75% of your skull.
yeah. Well, again, my experience this year has been different than probably some other years. Other years I might have been more worried about it. But this year I'm just like, hit me with that. But again, I'm trying to take all the hits.
Yeah.
So like,
This season, you're a meatbag.
yeah, it's better for me to fight the guy who's gonna be like, oh, take 300 points of cold damage, and I'm like, okay, that's whatever. Like, I'm shield blocking, that doesn't matter. Like, oh, I'll take 10 or whatever it is. But the different champions have been more important. So it's like Plague is number 1, and then there's a list of champs that are like the next most dangerous, and then like the rest of the champs get to come in.
The symbiote champ is nah.
Yeah. Well, and that's been all over the place. We've really been noticing a lot of literally up and down, back and forth nonsense on it here.
In the beginning, I was always saying like, what was the name of that champ again? That gives the fear thing. I was always saying
Oh, the
that's
legs.
target number 1.
Well, legs were pretty scary until
Yeah,
you kind of
legs.
like just figured it out, and then who cares?
Yeah, now I'm literally like, don't care about legs. Now, in my opinion, two that I target directly when I see. What? Sword?
Yeah, so like I said, I just think there's a... Ooh, what's that?
Not bad. No, the two that I target directly when I see them.
Oh, you
is
put your
the
fear
target
meter on.
one and the
No, I'm just showing I just dropped an immunity to fear in my hat, and
It depends. Like, sometimes they take forever.
have,
Hang on a
What
second.
is this?
Let me read this message in chat here. It depends. Like, sometimes they take forever to cast, or they cast things that don't matter too much. But then Sonic Blast, they hella hurt. I had to wipe earlier. We stepped in Sonic Blast, and we're all insta-died. Yeah, I guess saving throws and hit points are more important than before. It's one of the reasons why Pip and I kind of lean towards this combination of people, where armor quality, right? Like, I'm wearing full plate. Pip, are you wearing full plate now, or are you still just wearing a half?
medium.
A medium still?
Yeah.
I'm in an outfit.
But even with the medium armor, I'm still at 71 or 72 AR armor class.
Yeah, but what's your PRR?
My PRR is 92 and MRR is 64.
Yeah.
Yeah, in armor class I'm ahead of you. In armor class I'm at 85, but then again I'm a monk.
Right.
My saving throws are pretty good, but I wear an outfit of it. My PRR is 50. I'm way lower on that.
I am in again, by the way.
Um,
So what were you saying about the fear immunity item?
Oh,
no,
it's just...
I don't have a fear immunity item. I have enhancement lineup. Fate Art Solution. There's immunity to fear in there.
Right. That's why I don't really worry about the fears.
Reality Bulwark is the second fear plus 3 wall saving throws and immunity. The moment I saw that, I was like, yep, that's the way I'm going.
Well, I also could have taken the ASMR first tier, where
Second.
you're cleared of all fear after 2 seconds or whatever.
Who just got my DI?
It was me.
Damn. I got the RTK for myself, but I can't tell you.
I'm all in. I'm all in on taking this DI. I don't know.
On normal, we don't need it.
No.
You guys have hit me already, and they're too dead.
Yeah, you...
When I can take the boss, it's not bad.
Oh, I see how it is. They're like, Sam, start hitting the monster. If I had
Yeah, and I actually have some hit points on this guy. If I compare this with my bar
Yeah.
bar has like 400 hit points.
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of another thing about this build a little bit. It's kind of worked out better than what I guess intended. I don't have the huge damage that a lot of the favored souls have, but I've got enough damage to really hurt them. But I don't drag the aggro away.
Well, and it's consistent enough.
That's the exact same thing with my build. My build does not do the damage that Sapphire is doing. I don't even come close to Sapphire per damage. But I do enough to kill shit. I do enough not to take the aggro from others.
Yep.
And I do enough to actually be... Like I said, my main thing is just keeping the eye up on Sapphire. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely think next year Pip and I are going to have a better and more conformed plan. I suspect, I don't know for sure, but I suspect it's going to involve being a Warforged.
Yeah.
yeah, Sapphire and me have been talking about that already for ages.
Probably going to have to be.
Warforged.
Yeah, I think.
I think Warforged is the strongest race.
Well, it's not the strongest race. It's just
The
for
most
low.
survivable race.
Well, for the. It's inherently has a lot of advantages that lower it to a low gear set environment. Right? You get like natural fortification, you get hit points,
PRR and MRR.
PRR and MMR, depending on your class and how you decide to tie it together. You have a couple of different options for healing. If you're down with the notion of being lawful good, which sounds terrifying to me right now, taking a paladin level doesn't seem that bad, and going up for the big racial boom.
You're talking about the iconic. The iconic is lawful good.
Yeah, it's lawful good because you have to be a paladin.
Yeah.
So if you do like what we did last season, where we did the Warforged Artificers, we had what, 3 reconstructs?
Yeah.
And if you need more than 3 reconstructs, you're doing something wrong anyways.
Well, I just meant as like, because you could do something a little bit different that's a little bit more oddball, right? Like you could do a ranged build, or you could do like a paladin, like a two-handed fighting thing. Like you can do some weird things when the rest of your party's doing other stuff also. Right? Like someone could be a paladin blade forged, and someone could be an arty, a pure arty, and someone could be a tank arty or a wizard or whatever.
Yeah, but I basically season 2 I didn't play a whole lot. But season 1 I played the sword. I was convinced the sword on hardcore. If you know how to play it, and if you know how to actually stay alive, sword is the way to go. I stepped away from that in 3 because obviously sword has gotten that already a couple of nerfs. And Artemis was at that particular moment extremely strong. So at season 3 I was out. Now I'm saying this build that I'm playing right here in combination with Favorite Soul, I think is extremely viable on hardcore. But always gonna depend on what updates do to the game and what changes.
Well, I'm gonna say there's a whole bunch of stuff that could change between here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
the thing. Last hardcore I was saying, okay, Ultimate is the way to go. They have incredible damage, they have the gold skin, they have the displays, they have everything that they need, they have the self-healing. And if you look to now, Alchemist has been nerfed into the ground pretty much.
See, in last season, Sork was one of the ones we saw the most of up there when we were up in the higher levels. Because they just destroyed everything that stepped in front of them. They didn't have to worry about having hit points or defenses. It was just push a button, everything's dead.
I played Sork in season 1. Season 1 was Sork, season 3 was Alchemist.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there a way? like an easy way to get greatsword to be a centered weapon without a bunch of fighter levels as a Kinsai? I don't think so, right?
Great sword.
Yeah.
Barbarian or fighter, I think.
As a centered weapon. So, I kind of want to be a monk with a greatsword.
Don't think that's gonna hurt. Don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, you can
Great sword, forget.
you can do it if you have some fighter levels, and because one of the Kinsai things lets you be centered with martial weapons. But it's like one martial weapon, like you pick the kind.
Yeah.
I feel like that's too diluted. I was just thinking how awesome it would be if you could be like 2 or 3 paladin and then like 12 monk with a great sword. That would be really, could be really good.
Talk about the niche, though.
Oh man, I think it'd be really, really good for hardcore though. You get lay on hands, right? You get the racial reconstruct. You get leap. You get self-healing, so like you give out curses, so like as you're hitting the monster, everybody's getting healed. Like, you have all the fortification and hit points in the world. The problem is that you have to be strength-based, which again doesn't sound that bad for a monk, but
You'd have to be strength-based, you couldn't be wisdom-based?
I don't think you can afford it, right? I think you have to go strength.
Why not? Why not?
Well, there's no tie-ins for the Warforged race for wisdom. I'm not super familiar with the Blade Forge, but I'm pretty sure there's strength, right?
So where's my...
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sure.
Let me quickly look at let me die.
Yeah, I'm bringing up the Blade Forge right now. So they're plus to con, minus to dexterity, minus to wisdom.
Yeah, mine is wisdom.
So like you're already down. Plus, like I said, I don't know if they're con only. Okay, they are con only. Oh, the big disadvantage, I guess, would also be you have to be in pajama, like you can't have a big body, a little body.
So you couldn't use what? Adamant? You gotta use mithril body?
Yep. Yep. And that's also a must if you want your evasion. The moment you go above light armor, your evasion is gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta be in, gotta watch your body, and then you have to deal with PRR issues, right? But again, I'm kind of hoping that being a paladin might be able to offset some of that. I don't know. I don't know all the trees super well.
I honestly think that Blade might off that, because Blade Forge has inner enhancement line that gives that enhancement.
Yeah, I mean all the Warforged lines have the fort stuff.
Like they have adamantine durability, which requires adamantine body.
Oh, I got you saying. Yeah, that's not gonna.
Yeah, and a lot of their trees tie into whether you take mithril body or adamantine body too.
There we go. At the top tier they have 4 power. The power of the forge you can actually get the more claws and
Yeah. You also get power attack and weapon attachment.
yeah, also, but they also have gain 5 quality bonus.
Oh yeah, all the way in the last tier.
So, yeah, this is the last tier, so I actually think that might be a viable option.
But again, the problem's going to be I don't think you'll have the points to put enough in to be centered.
Yep.
81 points, right?
80,
Yeah.
well, 81 if yeah. Well, 82 if you got the.
Yeah, 82 actually. You're right, Pip. So I'd have 82 to play with. I'd have to sit down and look at the builder. Because, like, that, it sounds like it could potentially be good.
Well, the perfect example is you have to look at the builder. My first thought was going Nordic, and I could not make it work to having Quiz up where I want, together with song that I want. I just
Yeah, because you're probably all strength and con. And then if you have any room for tier 3, it's charisma. Probably. So you can have the biggest divine might you can get away with.
if you make it fully cone-based, there, I think that is own staff that does not have staff to hit and staff to damage.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to go pure con base unless you're a dwarf, and even then, I don't love it.
Yeah, it's only the damage. So you got to make it all up with.
Yeah, I just meant
accuracy.
making sure that you have a big con is all. Because again, in my world on this thing, I'm thinking you're going to be kind of like hate tanking. It's just this is more of like a sturdy melee is kind of what I'm thinking, like a self-sustaining sturdy melee with good evasion, good saving throws, lots of different healing options. I don't know, I might put one together and just try it and see how it goes.
Warforged already with the hammer.
Now we've come to the point. So definitely not something that I'm gonna look at. Like,
So I honestly kind of prefer the idea of melee on the hardcore. Like, you're obviously at more risk, right? But having a dedicated, like, sturdy melee.
having somebody that actually keeps them grouped together.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier.
Like, I feel like we've certainly had a lot of success this season because I could just stand there forever and take the beating while Pip, even if it took Pip 5 minutes to kill a monster, I could stand there for the most part for that 5 minutes.
Well, plus
That's the thing. If you have somebody that actually has the ability to keep the aggro stationary, me as a caster, or as a ranger, or as a person who doesn't have to close combat, is only going to benefit. Because the moment mobs start running around, start moving, the moment when you start missing.
Right. So no, I'm really just trying to figure out or think about things like that to pose those questions down the road. Because again, I feel like I want to take the shortest possible break for the next hardcore season and just get back to like it was a speed bump. That being said, if it turns out that we're gonna have like 1,000 people watching or whatever, or subs are coming in fast and furious, or then I may have to make adjustments based off of that. But it doesn't mean that we can't rock through the 5,000 and the 10 Reaper points in the first week or whatever. And then Strim Tom, his group 20'd last night in like 20 some hours, right?
oh, did they?
Yeah. I think he tweeted it out. 23 hours, 2 members down. The Warforged party made a total of 20 in a day.
Oh, he did a Warforged. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Go watch that.
Yeah, they were all Warforged, racing to 20.
Yeah, but there you have it. They're all war. I swear to God, that's the most viable race. Or
Well, they have the most, again, the most low gear synergies, right?
Well, and if you have a full group of them, they all intermesh with each other well. So you know, you get that cross healing.
just the fortification alone. If you don't spend your store points on, but by the way, I'm not actually wrong. If you don't spend on the army, that's actually what I'm doing. Then more puts just so much further ahead on the due to the fortification.
Well, one of my favorite things about being the RV Warforged is the 2 force fields. Like, or was it 3? Maybe it was 3 force fields. Because you got there's the big emergency one that, oh no, I'm below, what, 25% health or something, and it kicks in automatically. And then you got the one you can cast on somebody or yourself, and then you got the big one that you can cast on everybody in the party.
I don't know. Does it work?
I don't remember which tree it was in.
We were talking about
But it
Renegade
was-
Master Maker for the automatic one.
Yeah.
So it's probably something in that tree that I don't know of off the top of my head.
Is it not?
Hang on,
Yeah,
I
it's
can.
something in there.
I don't think it is. What you talking about?
I've turned you up quite a bit, me too, but you're on the edge of being quiet, especially during combat. I don't know if your microphone just needs
Yeah.
adjusted better.
Well, microphone.
Because I know when we were running some of the Reaper ones, like Blown Deadline, when we were running that on Reaper last season, as soon as those constructs popped up when he was down to half health or whatever, I'd hit the force field and it's like, oh, we can get force blasted all we want and we don't take any damage. It was really, really handy in there.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, I think there's a lot of potential team combinations there for that kind of thing, with the crux of kind of like the robot team.
Yeah.
Same thing with, I also think, like
The Undead team.
see, I don't know if the Undead team has as much synergies, but it's a lot of the same synergies are there. Right? Like it's just as good. Almost, probably. Because it also has 100% fortification. It also comes with a bunch of defensive properties. The disadvantage is that you have to deal with a minimum of 3 wizard levels, which is pretty tough, I think, for some people.
The only issue with the robot, if you have a part in the group, takes to level 12 before it actually starts. So, the board is not a new.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like whatever I do, I want to make sure that I usually feel like I have a pretty ready to go team for hardcore, but a lot of people just don't have the focus to stick through the same rate or the schedule or whatever.
Yeah, for me it is a schedule.
And you can't complain with, or you can't give people a hard time for wanting to have a schedule within their daily life.
Oh, ransacked.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think this is our ransack timer, right?
Yep.
Right.
I have blood again. Yeah, but
Give me those tokens.
Sammy, if you don't want that invisible,
You want the invis spawn? There you go.
collect them.
It's yours. Oh no, we had a guy the other day asking for like resistance pots and stuff at level 22.
Yeah, resistance ball.
I'm like, okay.
Just in the middle of the market. Invisibility
Well,
potions, I-
those are 30s at that level
yeah,
when they drop.
still-
And that's what that guy was going on about.
The invisibility potions, I use them every PR and we're running stealthy possession.
Oh yeah, see, stealthy, I just kill half the things.
Yeah, we actually invisible.
Well, shoot, Pip. What are you thinking? Because my food's been here for a while. I could take my break and then eat. Try to come back later.
Well,
it is,
Steph,
it is
not
only
gonna be on
6.
for sure. Or...
Yeah, doesn't sound like she's gonna be on.
Savage, lights up.
She said she had a rough day at work and doesn't think she's gonna be around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She had a crisis at work, and I called her before I logged in, and she said, if I log in, he got me.
Yeah.
Just wanna fall over the weekend.
I think maybe. I think I'm gonna send some tells really quick. Let's see, what's that called? Something ore, right? Is it mysterious ore? No.
Serious artifact.
Serious artifact. And,
You didn't. I thought you had one of those.
pure iron.
I thought we just needed pure iron.
That's what I was trying to figure out what the other word for it was. So demon's
Yeah, I
blood
still-
there.
I still need 3 of them. Fact is, it's also not really must to have if you think about basically if you get hit with the spell and you fail, you just get teleported to the marketplace and then the people have to be respectful and wait until you run back.
Yeah, and then you can't make it back to the inn to help anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing, but do we need to be at the end to help?
Well, if the tank goes, yeah.
Depends on who's gone, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But
Which is the reason why I was like, I have a pail with 50 charges and the scarab of spell absorption. I was like, I could probably just get by with those 2 things.
I
But then I'm like, huh?
I don't have spell absorption. I mean, the iron, I don't have it. I have one in the bank, but I'm like very simple on that. If I get banished, I'm just gonna run back and I'm gonna try to get back at the start. I don't want to use an iron in this character. I rather save for on Orion. I have a few characters on Orion that still need.
Yeah, but you could use the temporary ones, right? You can use like a scarab of spell absorption.
If you find one, I haven't found any.
Oh, I've sold a couple in the auction house actually.
Yeah.
Let me actually look.
I mean, not like for tons and tons and tons, but let's see who else like owes us one. Nam maybe.
we need to be looking at the level 19 characters and saying, hey, you want to go run a whole bunch of quests for us to find just an item?
There's a tier 1 twist for that?
For the boots? Or for the anchoring?
Yeah, that's what he says.
What? There.
That'd be news to me.
What is?
I wonder if he's talking about the no fail on a 1.
Maybe.
That's not a tier 1.
Yeah, it is.
For will saves?
Impregnable mind.
Yeah, he says impregnable mind.
Tier 1 magister, but that just means you don't fail on a 1. That doesn't mean you don't fail. It's not a no fail.
Yeah. My will save, if I would be able to get there, it's very long one. To get the magic, but if I would be able to get them, I will be around.
Well,
Or
and the other question too is what are we gonna do it on TOD? Would it just be a normal?
No, elite man.
Yeah, elite, probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
if it is with staff for you, 100, it doesn't go for that.
Zaf says, give out wisdom items and will saves you can and have people teleport out if you get banished. It really isn't that bad at level 24.
Now that I think about it, we have a look. Thing that as well that I
Alright.
Yeah,
No,
I got
that
my
doesn't
will
say-
saves are my will saves are at 66.
Yeah,
no,
mine are...
damn it, it's at level 27. It's at level 27. I was gonna say you could take you could take a as well for the epic will save plus to the saving throw to wills. You don't fail on a 1, but it's minimum level 27.
Well, at that point you might as well just take impregnable mind. It's +6 to will saves, and
Yep.
you no longer fail on a 1, but that doesn't mean you don't fail.
Yeah, but the biggest issue is impregnable mind is a very long way away from.
Well, I've got it, so I've got it unlocked on mine. We've been doing a bunch of
already.
yeah, we've
I
been
was
doing a
just
bunch
gonna
of
say it. Yeah, you've been already at level 30. You probably have much every destined full of.
yeah, pretty close.
I just took level 20.
Yeah. But if I swap that out, that'd get me up to 72 will saves.
72. That's
Yeah.
actually.
that would be 51 with.
But currently unbuffed, I'm at 58, so with impregnable mind, I would be at 4 unbuffed. Obviously, can buff that way higher.
Yeah, buffed, I could probably get it up 2 or 3 more points, probably.
See here. That's 51.
Nam says he thinks 50 should be high enough for no fail. I don't know about
Not
that.
on-
That sounds
Not
like...
on elite.
Yeah, on elite, I honestly think it is something like that. Don't forget it's level 20 raid, it's not level 28
So,
or level 29.
sure. The wiki says, right, that the will save for teleport is 30 on normal, but it doesn't have a save number for elite, right? And then it says, a little bit later, they're talking about a different saving throw, and it says 30 at normal and 80 on elite. So if they use the
80, I
same
would
saving
say.
throws for both, we're talking about, 80 on the will save to not get teleported away. That's a big difference.
There's no way that it is 80. It's a level 20 range. I don't it's 80. No way.
B.
Yeah, again, I'm just telling you what the wiki says.
80 will save.
I'm not
Think
saying it's
about
that.
it.
I'm just
Those are-
saying.
Yeah, but just think about it. Those are numbers that at level 20 hardly anyone has. There's no way.
There's also Mantle, the World Shaper, that everyone's probably got.
Yeah, that I have.
Let's see, here we go. Phase 3. Blah, 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 blah. Disintegrates, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Horoth. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah blah blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Where did it say that? Alright, here we go. Horoth's banishment has a will save of about 30 on normal. Blah, 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 blah.
There it is again.
Blah, blah, blah. 1 minute cooldown, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so that's all they confirm about the save is on normal being around 30 on the wiki. However, if we continue to read down, it talks about a different save, and on Elite it talks about it being 80. Zap says his banishment DC is 64 in Elite.
That's something I really more than 8. 64 is more in the range of the somewhat.
Yeah, well, that's just it. The wiki never said what the top, what would be the top end. They just talk about how things scale to 80. So I'm just like, well, if they use the same formula, then it's going to jump to 80, But if it's 64, can we raise it a few more points? Like, can you get yourself to 63, Pip?
Oh, I'm 66 standing.
Well then,
Without doing
F your
anything.
couch. Okay.
And I'll probably still take that.
You can still fail on the one though.
Well,
That's why I'll take the no fail on 1.
Yeah. So if I were to take that, that would give me an extra 6. That would put me at 51. Getting 12 more of my saves. I'm wearing a +8 saving throw thing. I currently don't think I have wisdom slotted anywhere, so I could slot up to 11 wisdom, which would be an extra 5 to saves. So that would take me to 56. No, that's not true. I have wisdom 7 here. So I'd get, if I were to slot an 11, I would be able to pick up 2 more saves, 3 more saves. I'd have to twist in that and another thing that boosts my wisdom save, I think, to get there.
Well, that one gives you 6.
Right. Well, I'm at 45.
Oh,
So
you're
6
45.
would take me to 51. If I raise my wisdom to whatever the current value of wisdom is, right?
And then you'll get 4 more from me
Or 4 more
with
for you.
Holy Aura,
Oh, saving throw.
and another 2 from Good Hope.
Don't forget GH. There should go.
I don't have GH.
I don't know. I feel like it's still pretty close for me. But you guys with good will save should be good to go.
Yeah, my will is definitely up there.
But again, I think Samus is kind of the most important person we need to keep in there and not get banished. Because if we lose our tank, we have to bail.
Do you have a bell, huh?
I do have a pail. Sorry, I have pails and I have the other thing. Just taking off my trinkets bad for me. It's more likely that I could swap to my boots out than that trinket. See if I can find.
See, they just need to come out with an augment of anchoring.
Yeah.
Well, they came out with an augment summoning,
That's true, they did.
which I was really surprised when I saw that. I'm like, what, really? Oh, whole feet on a stone? And actually a halfway decent feat?
Yeah, like I don't see upgrading my wisdom item to be a particularly likely thing.
Oh, and you can always get an insightful wisdom of 5.
Well, I could. I could also get a diamond of wisdom 11 also. But again, those two things together don't sound particularly great. Again, I think if I could just find this stupid iron. And again, maybe it'd be best by hitting up the people that are in that level 19 range and be like, hey.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea.
Like Loa. Loa's usually good.
Be like, hey, can you go do a bunch of runs of weapon shipment? Maybe you'll get your babble. I guess that's what I'm not sure about, if the ingredients do drop in those 2 side quests or not.
The thing said it did.
Did it? Okay.
The iron is the easy drop, which is crazy, yeah.
The one that we can't find. So how would that be for a hardcore season twist? That your favor only counts whatever you last ran the quest on. So your favor could potentially go up and down based on, oh, we just want to run this on hard for gear farming.
Oh yeah, it's just whatever's last, not the biggest.
Yeah, that'd be kind of rough.
It's pretty rough. Pretty rough. Wait. All right. New Heart Season idea, you can't ever reuse hires if they die. They're instant removed from the party and you can't buy them again. The problem with that, because I know a lot of people have mentioned that kind of idea in the past, is that the hiring AI is so bad sometimes that they're already working at a disadvantage.
Yeah, if you're not managing them, yeah.
Chaka D, Chaka H. I feel like Chaka might be dragging some people around.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the Mimic event, except I wish it wasn't on quest item mandatory chest. No, I like it being on everything. I just wish they would spawn at the first time you click it only, basically, when this first opened. The nonsense like what we've been getting when, like, all day earlier today, that guy opened those chests. Every single one of them was after I had clicked on them and moved away and looted, and they turned into mimics. Like, that's... Hey, welcome back. That's my only real problem. Alright. I wouldn't mind so much if they turned after clicking instead of opening, because now you have this window in your face while trying not to die. Yeah, I mean, often whatever the first is, I gotta, like, move it over here.
What's really rough is when you got found a character on acquire items, like 3 of them, and it's like, okay, now fight. Which can be bad if you pull something that somebody needs.
Yeah. Like, I could... Again, I could pick up 4 more wisdom. I could pick up 9 more wisdom. Which would be 4 to the saves. Right? Maybe 5 to the saves. So that's 56. the 4 from Pip's thing would put us at close. Yeah, I could switch to I think I have that ring actually. I could do that. I think I have that ring anyway. No, maybe I don't have that ring.
Ready for Borderlands?
Yeah. I said I could. Or maybe it's a 20, not a 21. Oh. Yeah. Like I said, I could probably get close, but I don't know. I'd still rather just find a boot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe it's best we aren't doing raids tonight necessarily because we still got to get you the
Well, again, I
iron at least.
could have attempted to use. Yeah. Also,
Differences,
taking
yeah.
off my voice the master would lower my saves by another 3. Also, I already have a good luck running. I don't know. Just take a look at it. I also have my other character. I can potentially farm with it too. You know what I mean? Let me see if maybe just by chance Toss Braille happened to collect one. Ba-da-da.
You bet you didn't perk him at 19.
Well, I wanted to get him to 20.
Yeah.
And not that it wouldn't take me that long to like take another character and get it to 19 probably. But I think it would be more than I kind of want to deal with.
Yeah.
Nope. Boo! I did not see it. Check over here, I guess, just to really be sure. Wow, this character's gear is so bad. That
I love
just
the letter though.
yeah.
I still gotta get me one of those. If nothing else, for the cosmetic.
Yeah, it can be pretty fun. Yeah, I don't think I have anybody else that would have like nobody else like had got up to that level range or whatever yet. All right, are you gonna let me log out or? Yeah, because we certainly didn't get there on Camus. Not that we'd even be able to get to her in the event that she did have it on her person.
Yeah.
It would just irritate me for not have dropping it off before. Well, it seems like it might just be another one of those weeks that turns out to be really awkward. Kind of a short week with not a lot going on.
Yeah.
And since I have such a crazy weekend, again, for those of you who don't know, Magic, when a Magic set comes out, part of my job is basically to live at the bloody arena for like that first weekend of the release tournament. We end up almost always having something like, we have a Friday night tournament. We typically have 2 on Saturday and usually 1 on Sunday. So like I usually end up spending the entire bloody weekend running the shop. So even though it's less content for you guys, it is still more rest for me. Oh, because it could get crazy. It could get really crazy. I think we're going to run out of product because I think that this set's going to be in such high demand. I mentioned this to people before, and I'm going to tell you guys now as well. If there's any chance that you could get your hands on some of these products, Modern Horizon 2, and you want to have like a middle of the road investment, something that you know you can turn around and sell for like double its money in a year, this is the stuff to get. You'll easily be able to flip those things for that investment, probably by double easily. And if you're willing to wait like 2 years, maybe even more, like it might become a $600 box of Magic the Gathering cards within 2 years.
Well, I don't think most places are even letting people buy boxes, though, are they?
Nah, there might be some this weekend on. So what Wizards does now for pre-releases is they'll send stores like a case or 2 cases or something. I think we have something like 80 boxes that we can sell this weekend. So like you could go into your local game store and buy a case of it if you have the dollars. And then again, like I said, I think it'll be like a $600 box in 2 years. Like Dark Steel, I said something similar, and I think it took it 4 years to get to like that range. They're more than $600 a box now. So if you can physically store a box of Magic the Gathering cards someplace, it's actually some Magic the Gathering cards have outdone gold for like the value increase.
Because I know.
Clock here. I'm gonna call it a night, guys.
Yep, you too. I think we're gonna take a break here soon too, because there's nothing else really we want to do until we're ready to. Unless you need gear or something, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Yeah, until we're ready to raid.
Yeah, until we're ready to raid. So we'll probably just get out, get some food, and then figure out what I'm going to come back to.
Yeah, I know the Walmart here has signs posted for Magic cards that you're only allowed to buy 2 packs.
Yeah, well, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's such a high demand product. It's going to be.
I guess what happened? It made a comeback.
Magic's never gone anywhere.
Well, I don't know.
Like maybe in a local thing, but Magic's just almost. If you look at the numbers, it's almost always been on a slight trajectory, but now it's much higher. You with the streaming stuff, specifically streaming stuff and the UIs that have kind of been adjusted. Plus, I got a weird mark on my screen I just noticed. Plus the new introduction of Magic the Gathering Arena, which gives the board or the card game like a more up-to-date UI. Like,
yeah, I know
It certainly gained a bunch of popularity.
Because it was around the time, like, 5th edition, Mirage, and there was another set in there that just kind of, I don't know, people kind of lost a lot of interest. I can't remember what the other one was. Because it was Mirage, 5th edition, and oh, what was that? I know that's where we kind of lost some interest too, was around that time, but it seemed like you couldn't give half those boxes away.
Well, I tell you, I would have happily sat on that stuff now.
And that's what the bulk, I think, of my stuff's, the bulk of it's between, what, 4th edition and 5th and Mirage and stuff like that. I don't remember what edition, what edition introduced the slivers.
They've been in and out for so many times I couldn't tell you exactly which.
Well, I know they came in after 5th edition and Mirage. Because we started trying to get back into it when
Tempest
those
sounds
came
right,
out.
but I'm not sure.
We started trying to get back into it when those came out, and I don't know. My one friend was really into the sliver decks, and we were still all playing with our older cards, and it was like we couldn't do anything. It's like, what's the point?
Well, again, it's different, right? It changes.
Yeah.
All right, so this says. All right. Voroth visited a yet unidentified plane and discovers slivers. A fellow shapeshifter and obsessive zoologist, he was so fascinated by these mesomorphic, hive-minded creatures, he brought the Sliver Queen to Wrath. Then he took a number of brood away and stuck them in the furnace of Wrath so he could study them. So, that would be when? Tempest block, which is what I said, right? Tempest?
Tempest, yeah, that sounds right. Yep. Yeah, that was the
And
same.
so Tempest would have been what year? $1997.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
So I think 5th edition and Mirage. Was it Vision? Was Vision the Visions? I think was another set that was around that same time as Mirage. 5th edition.
It's probably, I mean, it's part of the Mirage block, I think, right?
Yeah. And that was around what, 94, 95-ish.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think everybody, I'm gonna get some dinner. I'll kind of bounce in and out over the weekend and see if I can't slide into some iron. Worst case scenario, I guess I can use these trinkets or try to get my will save up by spending some DDO points that I don't want to spend. But I'll figure out something so we can make this happen on Monday. Maybe I'll even try to find some time to take my other character and pike that demon assault or whatever. We'll see. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us today. I really do appreciate it. I know that's, again, another short stream. But I'm going to take a food break, and then there's a reasonable chance that I'm going to come back for at least some part of this evening and do like another video hangout or something. So I really appreciate you guys spending a little bit of time with us today. If you're on the hardcore, stay alive. And if you're not on the hardcore, then do whatever you want. But we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Toodles. Say toodles, Pip.
Toodles.
All right, toodles, everybody.